lives in Florida, so it's definitely not, it's not like you.
I lost your picture, but I'm wondering, are we ready to start?
Yeah, I just started recording, so I'm going to ask everybody to mute themselves except for Deborah. And we are going to start. Welcome to week 22 of Homemade with TGP. We are very lucky to have Deborah Abramowitz bring us into her kitchen for her to teach us how to make red lentil sweet potato soup. So here you go, Deborah.
Hi. So we're making red lentil soup, as everyone knows from the Bible, that Esau gave away his birthright for a bowl of red lentil soup. This soup is has some Indian spicing to it, but as everything with soup is very forgiving. It's the most forgiving thing we can make in our kitchens, I think. And if you don't like the spices, you can omit them. You can substitute other spices that you prefer. And that's it. It's a very simple recipe. So I have a pot, and I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And 1 large cut up onion after the olive oil heats up. So I was saying before that you can the ingredients list I gave you says ginger grated and garlic minced, but you can use, if you wanted something like this, which are ginger and garlic. You can use the frozen ones.
Deborah, did we put the onion in already, or we're just warming up the oil?
My oil seems warm now, so I'm going to put the onions in. I guess each pot heats up at a different rate. So mine is shimmering, and I'm going to add the onions. I'm going to stir the onions. And we're going to let them soften and wilt for about 5 minutes. It might be a little less today. I'm going to pick up my iPad. And this is what my onions are looking like.
Garlic mix. Did you put garlic and ginger yet?
Not yet. One could. I would cook the onions for a few minutes and then add the garlic and the ginger, because they don't need to cook as long. So in 1 more minute, we're going to add the garlic and ginger, and there's a 2 to 3 peeled and cubed sweet potatoes in the recipe. I actually needed to make roasted sweet potatoes for a recipe last night, different recipe. So mine are already roasted, so I'm not going to put them in right away. But we're gonna put in the garlic, the ginger, and the sweet potatoes together. So, this is my minced garlic and ginger. So there's a fresh ginger root, and I did say grated, but I minced it because I find the flavor is stronger if you mince garlic rather than grate it. But here's a ginger grater. That you just go like this.
Deborah, you have a ginger grater. Could you hold that up? I never saw that. Wait, up.
I have two actually. It comes from me living in Japan because you would add ginger to like when you make noodles and you have ginger on the side. So this side would be for your grated ginger, and this side is for your soy sauce or any other soy-based sauce you're using.
So we use this to grate.
You can use.
It's a plain.
I'm not seeing it. Wait.
Yeah.
Where are my onions?
It's a plain.
Yeah, you can
Like-
use plain or
Robin, that looks like I smooth out the bottom of my feet with.
No, but you use it to like grate ginger with.
I've never seen that.
It's a David Wilson thing.
like this. Is that what you're showing me, Robin?
I don't see you.
Like this?
Robin, show her your zester. It's like a lemon zester she's using.
Yeah, I use it for onion, for garlic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use that. So I'm gonna throw in my garlic and my ginger. You can use the frozen cubes. I guess in a pinch you could use dried, but it would be an awful lot of it.
Smells good.
I think I forgot to say this should be on a medium heat.
Deborah, should we be putting the sweet potatoes in with that garlic and ginger and onion?
Yes. So I do an imperfect foods, which means you get food that's not quite to spec. So this is a giant sweet potato. I got it, weighs over a pound, so I'm going to use that for my sweet potato.
Where do you get that from, Deborah?
It's a food. They're trying to reduce food waste. So it's a subscription I get. So I could ask for a pound of sweet potatoes, and I could get 1 giant sweet potato, or 5 tiny sweet potatoes, or 2 to 3 regular sweet potatoes. I never know what week I'm going to get, but apparently 40% of food in our country is thrown away because it doesn't meet spec, but it's perfectly fine. Once I got a sweet potato this size, and I just made sweet potato muffins out of it. So, you know, you just have to go with the flow. It's pandemic time. So we're gonna cook this for a couple minutes. And we're gonna cook this about 2 minutes until we smell it.
If the sweet potato is raw, then you would cook it much longer than that, right?
Yes, yes, we're just adding it first to get the flavors of the ginger, the garlic, and the onion in with the sweet potato. It's gonna take about 40 minutes to make this soup. And then, okay, I have about 2 teaspoons of curry powder. You could also use cumin or turmeric if you don't like it. I have a half a teaspoon of red cayenne pepper and a half a teaspoon, of ground cinnamon. Cinnamon, I find that whenever I use spicy things, I like to counterbalance it with cinnamon. Could you turn that? I like to counterbalance it with the cinnamon, and also all peppers and spices actually help to produce endorphins in your body. So I like to try and go to my level of just a little discomfort with spices. And they also say that when you eat spicy food, you eat less. So, all you Weight Watchers people, so in my
So we-
bowl, I have
Deborah, do we put the spices in now?
yes. We put our spices in, whatever spices you choose. I have curry powder, cayenne pepper, and cinnamon, and we're cooking that for a minute. And then we're going to add either a quart of water or a quart of vegetable stock. I just went down and picked up what I thought was a Tetra Pak box of vegetable stock. And it turns out it's butternut squash soup. So I'm using water. Just a little aside, the other day I made a butternut squash, acorn squash recipe with similar spicing, but I added some sweet paprika, which I don't think is really sweet. And it was really too hot for me. So I ended up adding an extra cooked sweet potato to my soup and some butternut squash soup to cut the heat of it. And it just got tastier. So we've added the water.
Deborah, are you keeping the temperature the same or are you upping the temperature a little bit?
I actually lowered it because I'm talking too much and so it's going on too fast. For me, I don't want anything to burn. And we are now, after we've added our vegetable broth or our water, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of lentils. The recipe calls for red lentils. That's because red lentils break down more than other lentils do. For my imperfect foods, I got crimson lentils, and I thought that would be red, but they were more like the French lentils, which is a very hard lentil, which doesn't break down in cooking, so it won't get it so creamy. I think the photo that I used the Geffen pre-cooked lentils. It was very tasty soup, but again, you could see the lentils in the photo, and this will just turn into mush.
Hey Debbie, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah, I got a late start. I was finishing my laundry. So I got all the ingredients I was gonna cook. Would it be better to watch it and then do it later? Or how far are we into the process?
It'd probably be better to do it later. We've already cooked our chopped onion, our fresh ginger, our garlics. We've coated the sweet potatoes. in that,
Tina,
and
this is gonna be recorded, right? Or is recorded?
recorded. Yeah.
All right, I'll get the recording and I'll do it when I see the recording. Good,
Okay.
thank you.
So we have, if you're using salt, you can put in salt. I might actually put in salt because I'm not using vegetable broth, like a half a teaspoon. And we're going to cover and simmer this for 15 to 20 minutes until your potatoes are soft. Since my potatoes are cooked, I'm just really waiting for the lentils to cook. But I'm going to lower down my heat. Find the pot lid. Before I cover the pot lid, you'll cover the lid with the pot with the lid. I will show you that the lentils, oops, that's a little too low.
I don't think the camera's on there.
How long did you say it was gonna cook for?
About 15 to 20 minutes. So as you see, it's pretty thick right now because we haven't added the coconut milk. We'll do that the last few minutes.
And what about the spinach and rice?
The which?
Didn't you say spinach?
That's at the very end.
Okay. I mean, I bought a bag of spinach. I was just gonna throw the whole thing in it.
Yeah, I have a box of spinach. Like with my imperfect foods, I had ordered spinach.
Right.
And then it turned out that they didn't have it in stock by the time they were doing my delivery. So they charged me for it, but then I had to go out and buy spinach. So it is one of the foibles of imperfect, but it's very nice. You get a lot of organic vegetables and foods and heavy things that you don't want to carry home from the grocery store anyway. So. The rice is it. So at this point, everyone, the rice should be cooking if you haven't cooked it yet. I'm gonna add a little more water because mine looks really like it's gonna burn. Often when you're cooking and they give you a liquid, especially with soup, if they give you a liquid number and it doesn't look right to you, then you can just add more liquid. So that's what I did, a cup more.
Deborah, when this is all done, it's gonna be mushy, or is it gonna have like chunks in it? You know what I mean?
Well, the potatoes will your potatoes will still have chunks in it.
Right.
My potatoes will probably be mushy since I had pre-cooked them just because I needed to roast sweet potatoes and I felt like, okay, I'll just cook them all at once.
Well, usually when I make like vegetable soups, at the end, I take an immersion and I make it all mushy. I'm not gonna have to do that probably with this. It'll probably be pretty soft, except for some chunks of.
The only thing that won't be mushy is the spinach that we're gonna add at the end.
Okay.
So, does anyone have any questions? I don't know if you've cooked your rice yet.
Yeah.
So I use a rice cooker. So my Aunt Brandwine said to me, I'm the only other Jewish person she knows with a rice cooker. But since I lived in Japan, And we had rice every day there. When I got home, I bought a rice cooker. And now they make very fancy rice cookers. They could, people have discussions whether they should get an Instapot or these fancy rice cookers. And I'm like,
Deborah,
I'm happy with
Julia-
my one button.
Deborah, Julia uses a rice cooker. So
What?
that- Julia uses a rice cooker, so that's 3 of you.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, that's true. If you're Sephardic, it, that would be a easy thing to do. So, yeah.
Deborah,
Yeah.
does it freeze well?
I've never tried, but it should.
Because I have this thing that you freeze like portions.
Uh-huh.
So I was gonna freeze like 4 portions.
Uh-huh.
And then I pop one out and I take it to work.
Oh, that sounds brilliant.
Yes.
I mean, all soups that are vegetable heavy, the texture might change a little, but the taste will be delicious. And
Yeah.
actually, since we're adding coconut milk to this recipe, which has some fat in it, that will help the freezing process.
Debbie, 2 questions.
Yes?
Yes, thanks. Before you dice up the potatoes, the sweet potatoes, you should cook them first. Is that
I
correct?
peel them, yes.
You peel them and then after you cook them, then you dice them up?
No, you peel them, you dice them, and then you put them in your soup. So they'll be diced in your soup. Because you're adding them to the soup. If you take them out, a potato out and dice it, 1, it'll take longer to cook because it's got a big surface area, and 2, it'll be very messy with the lentils.
So wait. So you first peel it, then you dice it, and then you cook it, correct?
Yes.
Got it. And can you use regular pepper instead of cayenne pepper or
Yes,
not?
you can, because this is a soup. So if you didn't have cayenne pepper, you could use regular pepper, or you could use I don't know, a poblano pepper or a fresh pepper that's got a little spice to it, or paprika, which has the same red color, might be a better substitute than black pepper, because this is going to look red when it's done.
Okay, thank you.
You want it to look red. Okay, not my lid. So, Bill, was that 1 question or 2 questions? That sounds like 1 question.
I said that's it. I'm finished. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So mine's cooking along since my potatoes are already cooked, but we'll need a few more minutes. What? Does anyone else have a question? No more questions.
How do you prepare the lentils? Do you wash them, rinse them?
I just made sure that there weren't any stones in lentils. Sometimes there's little stones. I don't know why.
Okay.
And then I had checked them before I put them in the jar that I had them in. So I just poured them out. But you don't have to rinse them. It's not like quinoa or anything.
I
Right.
feel like the red lentils are not as pebbly as the other lentils I bought. Like I didn't see any pebbles in this bag.
Yeah, I didn't either, but it's just something Mary taught me to do.
Yeah, no, I usually I wash it and take out the pebbles too. But
Yes, always check to make sure it's just lentils.
yeah.
You mentioned that you cook rice often. Do you usually rinse your rice before you put it in the machine to get rid of some of the residue?
I no longer rinse my rice. I used to rinse it several times religiously, but I've read that you're getting rid, they actually pre-rinse rice. Part of, I don't know, I mostly eat Japanese rice. And I think originally they would coat it with calcium and it was would cause kidney stones. So you had to rinse it beforehand. But now they changed the processing. So I no longer rinse my rice. I mean, occasionally you'll see a recipe rinse the rice, but I don't know, I read that you don't have to. So after our, another couple minutes, my lentils should be cooked enough. We're gonna add 1 can of coconut milk. Ellen mentioned before she gets light variety. This is full fat variety. There's a lot of I don't know, in pandemic, I don't know if it's my becoming aware, because I've started making a lot of recipes like cod that has coconut milk and I'm trying to think what else. So I find coconut milk is now at end caps in supermarkets. Like there's all these recipes going around with coconut milk, and it's easy. It's much easier for me to find it in the store. So, all right, I'm gonna go check my lentil soup and see if we're ready to add the coconut milk and the spinach.
So Deborah,
Uh-huh.
like my lentils are like still, like they're not like broken down.
Mine aren't either. I thought they would be by now. But I don't know how we're doing for time.
7:30, good.
Okay. So what we're going to do is in a few minutes, when our lentils break down a bit, we are going to add coconut milk, and we're going to add anywhere from 2 cups of fresh spinach to as much as you like. And, or if you don't have spinach, the last time I made it, I used chopped kale. That's what I was talking about. That soups are very forgiving and you can substitute things, especially when you don't have everything you want, or if you go to the store and they're out of X, Y, or Z, or they moved it in the store, or you ordered it and they didn't send it to you. So it's very adaptable. Any recipe, any soup recipe is adaptable. In fact, this summer, like at Israel, the Food Saving Organization of Israel, they came and spoke to us at Temple Gates this summer. They also had 3 chefs talk about things. Famous chefs like Susie Fishbane of the Kosher by Design series, and another one was Jamie Geller. And Jamie Geller spoke about making a vegetable soup, and her ingredient list was like 20 ingredients or something. But her point was that you could use any of those combinations of vegetables you liked and still make a vegetable soup. And then you could just use what you have on hand. So it's soups are very pandemic friendly and very adaptable to one's own tastes. Generally, before this, I used to make the lentil soup that was green lentils, onions, carrots, celery, including the tops of the leaves, and some garlic, and a can of tomato sauce. And that's also very delicious. So, yeah, I'm gonna go check my soup. Okay, so my lentils are cooked with it all not broken apart, but at this point I am going to add, I see it's 7:35 and Minion starts in 10 minutes.
There's no minion tonight. It's Sunday. We don't do minion.
Excuse me?
There's no minion tonight. We don't do minions on Sunday night.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, you've got plenty of time.
Good. All right, so we'll let the soup cook a little bit more. I'm just going to use some pre-washed organic spinach. I know that Robin said she has a bag of spinach. I think you could probably use frozen spinach, but then your soup would get a little more liquidy. So,
You said to add the coconut milk, right?
if your lentils are done, we're adding the coconut milk.
I think they're done.
And your potatoes? My potatoes are done, but,
Yeah, mine are like soft.
okay, good. So we can add our coconut milk. So it looks kind of thick. This is actually a light coconut milk that I'm using, even though the can I showed you is regular, but it does coat the glass. And and I said in the beginning that I love coconut milk because it's parv, so it adds creaminess.
Don't take that out, just take it out. I know she took me off. And add the spinach too, right? Yeah, I bought actually baby leaf spinach.
Good. Me too. Baby spinach.
A lot of spinach.
But if you don't buy baby spinach, then you have a lot of big stems. So I'm gonna throw a bunch in. I'm gonna let all that cook another 5 minutes.
What?
Ellen, if you want, before you add the spinach to your soup, you can use your immersion blender and make everything smooth.
Oops. I already put the spinach in. But
All
it's,
right.
it
Have
sounds,
one soup in your life with a few chunks in it, then
we will definitely survive.
you'll survive. So,
But that's when you would do it. You would do it before you put the spinach in because you want this.
yeah, you don't want the spinach because then you'd have brown soup.
Right.
You need the spinach, and so we're letting this cook for about 5 minutes.
It's snowing.
Snowing? That's exciting.
Chicken. You didn't put the rice in yet, right?
No, the rice is actually for serving, and also I like spicy things, but I don't like spicy things. So the rice and bread, like if you go to a restaurant and the food is too spicy for your taste, don't drink water. That will not help you cool down, even though you would think it would, but it actually just spreads this spice in your body faster. So what you want is to have bread or rice or plain potatoes, and that will absorb the extra spice that you don't particularly like.
Okay.
So we're just going to take the rice and put like some rice in the bowl and then put soup on top of it. Is that how we're going to do it?
Yes.
So if I'm gonna freeze it, should I put some rice in my little holders?
I would say, how do you heat up your rice at work?
In a microwave.
So I would like have cooked rice in a separate bag.
Gotcha. And then,
Otherwise,
yeah,
I mean, you could just add the rice and put it in the soup, and then you would just have rice, lentil, sweet potato soup. If you want to have it as a
I gotcha.
separate thing, or you don't have to have rice at all. The recipe that I originally got calls for having naan bread with this as well.
Mm,
Naan's a delicious flat bread, but it's usually made with butter, and I love making parve soups, so I can have them if I want to have them and not have to worry. So one could probably eat like lavash, which is parve, or a similar bread that doesn't have butter in it. Excuse me. Arnie just told me, don't get dehydrated when I cook. We should always be hydrating all day long. Except when we go visit our children. So. I'm going to check to see how my spinach is.
You want to show them what it looks like when the
One sec. All right. My soup is now done. Nope, that did not work. Okay. Nope. All right.
Nope.
No? You're not seeing my soup?
You just need to flip the screen.
Yes. I tried doing that before and it didn't work, so. All right. Nope. There it is. So there's our red sweet potato and lentil soup. Get rid of that. And I showed you my jasmine rice. You can also get brown jasmine rice or basmati rice or brown rice, whatever rice you like. Jasmine rice is actually more Thai than Indian, but I didn't see basmati rice when I was at the store except in 20-pound bags, which I didn't need.
Deborah,
Yes.
when were you supposed to put the cilantro in?
That's 1 second.
Ah, good, because I didn't do
I'm
it.
gonna have a bowl.
So I put in the, you can't see the rice because I put the soup in, but here is my soup. And for those of you brave enough to eat cilantro, now is the time to put your fresh chopped cilantro on as, instead of parsley. If you want, you could parsley on too. But traditionally you would put cilantro. As I said before, I had that gene that cilantro tastes like soap, so I don't use it. So that is our very hearty soup that we have. Oh,
Can you see my soup?
let's see your soup.
No, this is my,
Oh yeah, that looks lovely.
Now, what was I gonna
It's not
say?
red, though. It's not red.
Well, my soup isn't that red because my sweet potatoes are in, mush.
Let's see.
I tasted it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
good.
mine doesn't look red either. See, it
Huh.
looks
Did you use yams? I mean, the regular American sweet potato?
Yep.
'Cause, I think when I first made it, I had Korean sweet potatoes, which are actually white inside.
I like this. No, I regular
Which is
orange.
very tasty, but it changed the color of the soup.
Mm.
So anyway, I'm sure it'll be delicious, even if it's not so red.
Yeah, mine's delicious.
It smells great. I love it.
It does smell great.
And yeah, and it's a nice hearty soup that you'll need after shoveling tomorrow.
How was my soup?
Let's see your soup.
There's Lana. Wait, see, hers is green, really green.
Well, it's the spinach.
Yep.
Let's see yours again.
The spinach.
Did you cut the spinach up?
Yes, I just put a lot.
Uh-huh. It looks delicious. Did you like put a whole bag of spinach?
Green lentil, not red one.
Oh, green lentils, so that's why it doesn't look red. And the green lentils will not break down as much as the red lentils, but as I said, last time I used green lentils, and it's still delicious. And we can, if anyone wants to
Try.
the birth rate for your soup, take it. Right?
Yes,
So you can, this soup is good enough to buy for someone to give up their birth rate for.
This is so good.
Oh, this
I mean,
is
I didn't put a lot of. I don't put ginger in because ginger tastes like soap to me.
Uh-huh.
But I put a little Cayenne.
Cayenne?
It is really good.
Oh, it's really, real. Anybody who didn't make it should make it. It's very delicious. Mm.
And one thing that I do, I buy already cut up vegetables. So my sweet potatoes are already peeled and cut up.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so less work.
Yeah. Less work is
And I
better.
did the 5-minute trick of Susan Monheit where I put my onion in the freezer for 5 minutes and I did not tear up.
Ooh,
That's good.
I didn't do that.
I didn't tear up either because it was only one onion. I think it's 2 or 3 that by then I'm like, please.
I always tear up.
People who wear contact lenses, especially hard contact lenses, don't tear because the stuff is pretty.
So Debbie, the potatoes, the yams are being cooked in the soup, correct?
Yes,
And how long does that take?
about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, good. Looks good.
Deborah, really, really delicious. Mm.
Delicious.
This is going to be excellent tomorrow when we're all snowed in.
Yes.
This is my lunch for the week.
With 8. I find. I usually find that I don't freeze soups because I like eating them over several days. And then it just keeps getting, the flavors meld even more.
How long can soup stay in the refrigerator for? About a week?
About a week. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do a meat soup that long, but a vegetable soup is pretty forgiving because it's just vegetables. Maybe 5-6 days.
What I do is I have some for during the week and then I freeze it and then next week I'll use the frozen one. So
You know,
mix
I
it
buy,
up.
So where
I buy
does your individual portion freezing things, Robin?
What?
Where did you get that? Is it silicone?
No, it was Amazon and it comes with like a silicone top.
Uh-huh.
Top.
Oh, it's like my daughter has ice cube trays like that.
Yeah, but it's like an oversized cup ice cream tray.
Right. ice cream thing.
Yeah.
That's probably- Hi, Michelle. I think I'm gonna put this on,
That's really good.
gallery, so I can see people.
You know what I like? I like this coconut milk because nothing
Oh.
is ever that, that creamy because I'm usually eating soup with meat. So this is like a new find.
Yeah, isn't it? I really found it, this summer.
Yeah, this is going to be my new find. Thank
What-
you. Thank you.
What else have you cooked coconut milk with, Debbie?
Cod. I have done it, actually a chicken dish with coconut milk. What else have I used coconut milk in? I think I used coconut milk in a recipe when I wanted to keep the recipe called for milk. And I said, I don't want to make this dairy. So I just used coconut milk instead. I mean,
It's good. It has like a little coconut flavor, but not heavy.
right, exactly. And yes, but I find soy, I don't know, I guess I've had too much soy milk, so I'm not so into soy milk anymore.
I really
So,
like the broth of this.
This is much richer.
You should taste it.
and it adds a creaminess to your soup.
Depending
So-
on the fat.
How do you think almond milk would be?
I'm sure that, I don't know if it would add creaminess. I think part of the coconut is, I'm trying to see if I can read.
I don't think it would add a lot of flavor though.
Yeah, I don't think it would. So,
But they do have almond
sort of
coconut milk.
Thai Indian spiking. So that's, I mean, if you look at Thai recipes, almost everything has coconut milk in it.
That's cool.
So Thai recipes for the American public, I should say. I'm sure there are tons of Thai recipes, not, but
Tell
Debbie,
us about
where-
imperfect foods. And is it more reasonable to get the imperfect foods than if you were getting it from organic food in a regular store?
they say that it's like 30% cheaper. I haven't been to Queen's Food Emporium since last year because I try and go to places where there's actually passing space or one-way aisles, so I haven't been in there. So I mean, not all their food is organic. If you want, Misfits Markets has only organic fruits and vegetables, but what I like about Imperfect is I can also get my cream cheese there, and they have lox and Beyond Meat and things like that. They also have things that aren't kosher, but I just take them out of my cart. So they say you save 30%, and they're also saying you're saving when a lot of water, a lot of carbon. I don't know. I think I've saved, and just the food being thrown out, like I've already saved a ton of food from being thrown out since this summer when I started doing Imperfect. If you want, I can send you a link, Anne.
Oh, thank you. Do you like it better than Misfits?
Well, actually, I tried to sign up for Misfits to see what it was like. Misfits, from what I understand, only does fruits, vegetables, and then they do pantry items. So they don't have non-meat alternatives and non-dairy alternatives, and I don't think. But so I was trying to sign up with Misfits, and I kept hitting the confirm button. It never went through, and I never got my order. So I have to say, one thing I love about Imperfect is their customer service is really good. Like, they deliver depending on your zip code, and my zip code is Friday. And in the summer, it didn't matter, but now it's winter. I said, well, I don't know if I can continue because, Shabbat starts early. So they switched their route. So now at the beginning, and I I get it right before Shabbat, but I get it before Shabbat, which makes me feel better. So they're very good with customer service, I think.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Anyway, anyone else have any soup questions?
Deborah,
Yes?
it was bothering me. I'm like, what is the first thing she taught us? I was like, oh, you taught us banana bread. So I just have to tell you, the banana bread and the soup, both excellent, excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see what you teach the next time.
Okay. Well, this was easy because I had just made this soup, and then Raspberry Soup Month came out. I said, "Oh, I can teach that." That was easy enough. So I'm still not so organized that I have my soup lid, my pot lid, and my ladle out and beforehand, but I had all my ingredients, so that's good.
So much. Just to let you guys know, tomorrow you will all be getting the email with the video from tonight, the recipe for tonight, and normally you would be getting an ingredients list for next week, but next week is the Super Bowl. So in some houses that's considered a holiday. So we will not be having it's a holiday weekend, so we won't be having a class. And then the following weekend is also a holiday weekend because it's President's Weekend. So our next class will be on the 21st, on the 21st of February. And we will be making Hamantaschen because it's right before Purim, which is very exciting. And then that's with me. And then the week after, we will be with Bonnie and her granddaughter, Eliza. And we are going to be learning zebra cookies. So, which is very exciting because February is cookie month. Yay. And we're very much looking forward to Bonnie's granddaughter. So thank you again, Deborah. We are really appreciative of you teaching us this class and this soup.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in a few weeks. Thank you, everybody. And
Take care.
happy Super Bowl.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Look forward to seeing as many people on Wednesday, I believe.